Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. Welcome back to the channel here on YouTube.com. And I would like to welcome each and every single one of you to the official rundown for WWE Worlds Collide 2020, which of course is streaming live on the WWE Network from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, with the pre-show starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Couple of things you may have noticed. I am alone. I was supposed to do this with Tim Farley and John Kearns of Armbar Audio, and Sid the Nerdy Mark. Shout out to both of them. Unfortunately, Sid, he had other obligations. He had errands to run. And Tim Farley and John Kearns actually are not here because they recently just lost a friend. A friend of theirs just passed away. My condolences go out to him, their friend's family, their families. I definitely hope that, everything runs smoothly for them. I'm truthfully sorry for them. I had no recollection. I didn't know of the person, but regardless, I'm 100% certain he or she was a great friend to Tim, to John. So my condolences go out to them. Sid, obviously, he had other obligations. It's not a problem. Not a problem. I can definitely still get this done. It is all about Worlds Collide, which, like I've said for the last couple of weeks, is definitely looking better than WrestleMania and the Rumble. WrestleMania doesn't even have a match announced for it yet. So, we got 6 matches announced. I'm actually surprised they did not put the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic on the show between the Broserweights and the Grizzled Young Veterans. They're actually doing that next week, but regardless, that match is somewhat of an unofficial number 1 contenders match to see who's probably going to challenge the Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team titles, and I'll talk about that more in the Lightning Flash update tomorrow. A couple of things. Follow me on Twitter at Patronize with DJS. Follow me on Instagram at the DJ Storms. I also want you guys to go and check out the Lightning Flash update from last week if you haven't already done so, and the rundown for the Royal Rumble. The links are in the description. Of course, I want you to hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up as, of course, to try and get this video to 15, 20 thumbs up. And I want you to drop a comment down below. What are your predictions for Worlds Collide? And what do you feel is going to be the best matchup at Worlds Collide? Hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. And hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it's the best time to be on YouTube. And of course, as always, thank you to everyone who has stuck by me. Thank you to everyone who has liked, commented, and subscribed. Thank you guys for making the DJ Storms brand what it is today. I said it's going to be a big year, and it certainly has been a big year so far for the DJ Storms brand. We're going to keep the ball rolling here with the rundown for Worlds Collide. This is going to be a rather short video. Nothing too in-depth here. This is more of a show where we can watch as a fan rather than a show that's going to really advance storylines or affect what's going on either NXT or NXT UK. I'm still going to make my predictions based off of logic and my way of thinking as far as the storyline-driven purposes of both brands go. So we're going to start off with the pre-show match. We got Kaylee Ray versus Mia Yim. This is not for the NXT UK Women's Championship, which I'm actually shocked that it isn't, considering that they really wanted to build this event as something big, since the tickets are not selling too well. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. But regardless, I'm a fan of both of these women. I definitely think that both of these women are going to be given the opportunity to shine. This is on the pre-show. There are 5 matches on the main show. This card is a fairly stacked card. And as far as Kaylee Ray and Mia Yim goes, I think that they are going to set the pace very nicely. They're going to set the pace very nicely. We're going to see how this plays out. I do expect them to deliver a decent match. I really wish it was for the NXT UK Women's Championship. That's just the selfish nature in me, considering that Kaylee Ray, she's been great. Don't get me wrong. She's a great wrestler, one of the most underrated wrestlers in the WWE right now. But she has had a title reign that was similar to Alexa Bliss's title reign from 2017 to 2018. Similar to Brock Lesnar's title reign, where she's only had 1 title defense in the 5 months that she's had the title, and I did go over that on the rundown for TakeOver Blackpool 2 with Joseph Conlon. Shout out to him. He's the co-creator of Big Fight Feel. and I feel as though her title reign and NXT UK as a whole was kind of put on the back burner considering the Wednesday night war between AEW and NXT. But regardless, I think this is still going to be a fairly decent match. I think that Kaylee Ray is going to come out victorious here, considering that she is currently still embroiled in a program with Toni Storm based on the recent reports on the recent set of NXT UK tapings. So I'm going to go with Kaylee Ray here to defeat Mia Yim in a damn good match. I think these two women are going to bring it. Really going to set the pace quite nicely. The champion, Kaylee Ray, is going to look strong, and then she's going to go into a program with Toni Storm on the next batch of NXT UK tapings. DIY versus Mustache Mountain. Now, we all know what Mustache Mountain are capable of. We have seen the classics that they put on with the Undisputed Era, the Grizzled Young Veterans, many, many more. DIY, I mean, what can I say about DIY? They gave you perhaps one of the best feel-good moments in NXT history when they defeated the Revival at TakeOver Toronto in that fantastic 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Tag Team titles. They became NXT Tag Team Champions for the very first time, and they definitely showed you that they were going to own that brand. Since then, look at what Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano have gone on to accomplish. Now, it's a bit of a toss-up as to who's going to win this because I don't know if they're going to make NXT look stronger over NXT UK. I don't know if they're going to book this evenly for the show. I don't know if they're going to be keeping tallies like they did for Survivor Series the last few years. I don't know if NXT UK and NXT is going to have any real prize for whichever brand comes out the winning brand. I mean, there's 6 matches, so I would assume that they're probably not going to keep track because if 3 from NXT win and 3 from NXT UK win, then it's an even playing field. I mean, they could end up doing that. I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. But I expect this to be perhaps one of the best tag team matches of the year. You got DIY, you got Mustache Mountain. You give these guys 20 minutes, and they're going to deliver you a tag team classic. So far, the bar for best tag team match of the year has been set by the Broserweights versus Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews on the January 15th episode of NXT, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the January 15th episode. And it's definitely going to be tough. It's definitely going to be tough to top that match. But if anyone can do it, I expect DIY and Mustache Mountain to do it. Now, as far as who wins this, I'm going to have to go with Mustache Mountain. I'm going to have to go with Mustache Mountain here, considering that Gargano and Ciampa, they are in positions where they can take losses. And Mustache Mountain, realistically, they should be getting back together, and they should be being positioned to fight for the NXT UK Tag Team titles. Imperium more than likely is going to beat Gallus for the titles. More likely than not. Probably in the next batch of NXT UK tapings. I don't know how they're going to do that. We're going to find out. But regardless, that's what I see happening. I see Imperium taking the titles off of Gallus, and then maybe sometime in the summer, we're going to get Mustache Mountain winning the NXT UK Tag Team titles. So Mustache Mountain definitely needs some momentum behind them, and I think a win here for Mustache Mountain over DIY could definitely get some more eyes on NXT UK. NXT UK has definitely come out strong for the first month of 2020, and I definitely want to see more of what NXT UK can do, especially what has been taking place over at the tapings. So I'm going with Mustache Mountain to beat DIY. Let's talk about the Cruiserweight Championship match between Angel Garza, Isaiah Swerve Scott, Travis Banks, and Jordan Devlin. Jordan Devlin and Travis Banks both advanced from NXT UK to this Fatal 4-Way match for the Cruiserweight Championship at Worlds Collide. Isaiah Swerve Scott, he's definitely been making shockwaves in the Cruiserweight division. He won the triple threat match with Lio Rush and Tyler Breeze, over on NXT TV to qualify for this match. And then, of course, he had a very good matchup with Raul Mendoza on 205 Live. I expect this to be a great match. I expect all 4 of these men to show out. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is, yeah, it's predictable. It's predictable considering the fact that this is Angel Garza's first title defense since winning the title from Lio Rush on the December 11th episode of NXT. So you can't really expect too much as far as unpredictability factor goes for this. This show is pretty much a show where you watch as a fan and enjoy some great wrestling. Some competition between NXT UK and NXT. NXT UK and NXT, they are doing great things in 2020 so far. They have been lighting it up. So, as far as the winner goes, I'm going with Angel Garza, and I actually like this concept. I love the concept because it gives Angel Garza a successful title defense here, and it doesn't put Lio Rush in a position where he's going to lose, because Lio Rush said he wants his title back. So we could definitely see Lio Rush and Angel Garza Part 3 on a TakeOver show. TakeOver Portland, perhaps. Excuse me. I also started college. Excuse me. I also started college today. I woke up a little earlier. So, I'm going with Angel Garza to retain, and hopefully we could possibly get Lio Rush and Angel Garza over at NXT TakeOver Portland. I don't know how they're going to do TakeOver Portland because there's at least 6 or 7 matches that should realistically be on the card, but we've been getting a lot of TakeOver matches on NXT, which I will acknowledge on the Lightning Flash update tomorrow. But I'm going to go with Angel Garza here to retain the NXT Cruiserweight title against Swerve, Banks, and Devlin. Ilja Dragunov versus Finn Balor. This is actually a dream match that I never thought that I needed. A lot of people never thought that they would actually want to see a match between Ilja Dragunov and Finn Balor. Ilja Dragunov, he has really come into his own as that intense underdog babyface. They've been doing Ilja Dragunov very good over in NXT UK. He's actually currently embroiled in a feud with Joe Coffey. He said on NXT UK the other day, once you get done with the Prince, you have something to settle with the Iron King. So it looks like we're building towards Joe Coffey and Ilja Dragunov. I definitely can't wait to see that. As far as Balor goes, Balor right now, he's expendable. And what I mean by that is he can take a loss and he'll be fine. Finn Balor, he hasn't lost in NXT outside of that NXT Championship match with Adam Cole on the last live NXT episode of 2019. So as far as this match goes, realistically speaking, I would have Ilja Dragunov go over since he is going into a feud with Joe Coffey, and more likely than not, we're going to get Ilja Dragunov versus Walter for the NXT United Kingdom Championship. And more likely than not, Ilja Dragunov is the correct man. Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, they're going to be busy with the NXT UK Tag Team titles. Joe Coffey, I don't really see him going anywhere. 8-Kid, he just got here. Travis Banks, I don't think so. Jordan Devlin, with Jordan Devlin, it's an on and off thing with Jordan Devlin. 1 minute they're pushing him, 1 minute they're having him lose, 1 minute they're pushing him, 1 minute they're having him lose. Ilja Dragunov realistically is the best possible dude to do it. Ilja Dragunov has been built up perfectly. And Ilja Dragunov, I believe, is going to be the one to beat Walter. And in order to do this, he's going to have to continue his momentum. So I'm going with Ilja Dragunov to defeat Finn Balor. More likely than not, they'll probably have Finn Balor go over, only because he's got this big match with Gargano over at TakeOver Portland. We'll see what happens. I don't know. Either way, this actually is a very unpredictable match, if you think about it. This is an unpredictable match at Worlds Collide. So, I don't necessarily know who's going to come out victorious, but I'm going with Ilja Dragunov because it makes the most sense to keep on building him up for an eventual UK title opportunity against the Ring General. Rhea Ripley versus Toni Storm for the NXT Women's Championship. This could be a very good women's match. I definitely love what they've been doing with the women's division in NXT. Toni Storm. She is still embroiled in a feud with Kaylee Ray, like I stated, over in NXT UK. So she's got some loose ends to tie up over there. Rhea Ripley, this is good for Rhea Ripley because this gives Rhea Ripley a successful first title defense, and then she's going to go into her matchup with Bianca Belair at TakeOver Portland for the NXT Women's Championship. And apparently I was actually informed that Io Shirai was injured in her match with Toni Storm. She suffered a knee injury, if I'm not mistaken. They reported that over on their Twitter page, did NXT. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if the injury is legit. I don't know if it's a work. I don't know if this is how they write Io Shirai off of television, because, again, Io Shirai's future with the company is up in the air right now, considering that she is currently unhappy that she is away from her fiance, Evil. It doesn't have anything to do with the booking. It doesn't have anything to do with the scheduling. It doesn't have anything to do with the money. It doesn't have anything to do with her position. She misses her fiance, Evil, over in Japan, and that's why she could very well make the jump from NXT to Stardom, since Stardom wants Io Shirai back. We're going to see what happens. I don't necessarily know what's going to happen. Io Shirai could very well end up staying with the company. This could end up being a work. Maybe Io Shirai comes back, gets revenge on Toni Storm. Maybe we do get Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley at TakeOver Tampa. Maybe Io Shirai does become the next NXT Women's Champion. I don't know. The NXT Women's Division right now, as I stated on the LFU last week, is a huge question mark. We don't know where anyone's going to end up. We don't know how long Rhea Ripley is going to hold the title. We don't know if she's going to lose it at Tampa or if she's going to continue her reign. We'll see what happens. I mean, Shayna Baszler's still there. She recently defeated Shotzi Blackheart, which I will go over on the LFU tomorrow. But we don't know what's going to happen. We don't really know what's going to happen, but as far as this match goes, I'm going with Rhea Ripley to retain. Makes sense. Main event, Undisputed Era versus Imperium. This is a dream match that many people actually thought that we were getting at War Games. Apparently, we are getting it right here at Worlds Collide. This is also a toss-up. I can't really give you a straightforward answer. I think it's going to be a fantastic match. I think all 8 men are going to show out. I think all 8 men are going to bring their A game. I think we're going to get something similar to what we saw at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view of 2014 between The Shield and the Wyatt family, because that 6-man tag match is looked upon as one of the best of the modern era, in a lot of people's eyes, my eyes included. I absolutely love that match from start to finish. We're going to see how this plays out. You could go either way. It could go either way. You could have Imperium win, and you can have the focus be on NXT UK to get more eyes on NXT UK and get more mainstream around NXT UK, because obviously more people care about NXT than NXT UK. And again, NXT UK has kind of been on the back burner. To a certain extent, that's why I feel that they're doing this Worlds Collide event. It seems to me like they're doing this Worlds Collide event to almost say sorry to NXT UK for kind of putting them on the back burner because they had this Wednesday night war going on. I don't know. It's a possibility. That's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. We'll see how this match plays out. You could go with the Undisputed Era. After all, Undisputed Era's time in NXT could very well be limited. It could very well be limited. We could very well see the Undisputed Era up on the main roster after WrestleMania, especially after what happened this past Wednesday with Keith Lee breaking the prophecy. Yes, Keith Lee, new North American champion, which I will talk about. But I expect this to be an excellent 8-man tag. Will this be better than The Shield versus the Wyatt family? It's a possibility. Has a very strong possibility that it could. If I'm going to go with a team, I'm going with the hot hands right now. I'm going with the Undisputed Era, and I think that the Undisputed Era, they're going to leave one final impression on their last few months in NXT, and they're going to defeat Imperium in the main event of Worlds Collide. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of The Rundown. I'd like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. Same thing as I said in the beginning. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Follow me on Twitter at PatronizeWithDJS. Follow me on Instagram at TheDJStorms. All the works. everything in between. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms. This has been the rundown. Like I said, super quick video. Didn't really want to spend too much time on this. There's really nothing more to go over. I got a lot to go over on the Lightning Flash update tomorrow. You are not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a packed edition of the Lightning Flash update. I got a lot of reports concerning a new potential acquisition for AEW, potential new championships for AEW, a name change as far as an NXT championship goes. We got a lot to go over. Of course, the 7 shows: Raw, AEW Dark, AEW Dynamite, NXT, NXT UK, SmackDown, and 205 Live. I did start college yesterday, and I will keep you guys updated as far as the college schedule goes. I will keep you guys updated as far as how it's going to play out and how often I'll be able to upload. I may or may not do a Lightning Flash update next week, depending on how much homework I have, because I did start homework. I actually completed a Chapter 17 homework assignment for my Taxation 2 class. Yes, I know. I'm talking about taxation on a wrestling-related YouTube channel. But I'm just informing you guys on how I live. I'm informing you guys on my life. I know you guys, you guys want me to get these videos up, but, you know, unfortunately, if duty calls, then duty calls. But I will keep you guys updated, as per usual. I'm DJ Storms. This has been the rundown. I hope you guys have an awesome Friday. Tune in tomorrow for the LFU, for the final LFU of January, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend.